now look at the price of the 350 strike. Now it's $130. You see the difference? 1150 to 130 bucks. So if I am a owner of MicroStrategy and I just don't believe in fairy tales or dreams coming true, I could go ahead right now. If I own say 1,000 shares of this stock, I could sell this option with a strike of 350, which means I make money between 302 up to 350. I make $48 a share, and I can sell this for 130 bucks. And so if I have 1,000 shares, I get $130,000. What does that mean? That means I'm cut out of the deal if the stock goes past 350, which might be okay. Why would you do this? Well, if you believe, which a lot of people believe, that the market's currently in a bubble and that MicroStrategy is kind of a fad, the bubbles pop up or fads pop up during bubbles. I think MicroStrategy could be a fad. I think that there's a strong possibility MicroStrategy could be a dog next year, right? I don't know. I'm not saying that for sure, but there were lots of stocks in 2021 that were trading literally at prices that are 10 times higher than they are right now. Companies like Peloton and stuff like that, the prices were just dramatically inflated. So anybody who sold long-term options, long-term out of the money options on those stocks made a killing, made an absolute killing. So here, if I just say, look, I'm not greedy, I don't care about giving up everything past 350, because if it goes to 350, remember, if you own 1,000 shares, you're still gonna make an extra $48,000 on your asset. That's pretty good. But then on top of that, you got the 130 times 1,000, that's $130,000. The person that buys the option is the real gambler. They're really gambling. Why are they gambling? Well, because in order for them to even begin to make, so when they take possession of your stock, if it goes past 350, they haven't made money yet. If it goes to 370, they're still deep in the red. They're still hoping to one day make money. So they take possession of the stock. That stock has to go to $480 a share for that play to really work out for them long term. And it has to get to 480. The 480 comes from 130 plus 350. So it has to go to 480. And that's for them to start making money. They haven't even made money at 480. They just broke even. So it would have to go to maybe 500, 600 or something for them to make money. So I'm a big fan of plays like that when it comes to selling options. I love, if I own a really speculative stock and I've had a nice run, my first goal in many cases is to lock in those gains, and just protect what I have, not to just automatically speculate and let it ride and double or nothing and all that. No, I feel like luck runs out. But that's a preference. That's an approach that that sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you miss out on things because of that. But if you want to know how MicroStrategy is doing, remember I did this a few months ago. So far, I think MicroStrategy is actually higher than that now. Believe it or not, MicroStrategy. No, it's not actually. Okay, it's at 330. So MicroStrategy has gone up. It's gone up to 330 right now with MicroStrategy. Actually, let's do a field trip. Let's just go and look at it. Let's just see what the universe tells us about MicroStrategy, because I think it's such a fun, interesting stock. Let's see. How do you make assumptions about the growth of a stock? There's different methods, Kim, but it's hard to really speculate. But one method of a stock's growth might be related to what they call price earnings ratio. The market always makes an assessment of the growth rate of a company, but it doesn't always end up being correct. And so the price earnings ratio is it's connected to implied volatility, in that what happens with the price earnings ratio is they're guessing how the stock is going to grow over time, how the earnings are going to grow. And based on that assessment, they give a stock price. A stock price spits out. And if your price, and they take the price divided by the current earnings, and if the price earnings ratio is really high, they say, oh, that must be a growth stock.